Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon. I thought I'd come on and talk about boxing. I watched the Nick Ball fight last night. A small Scouse kid who is tearing up the scene. Absolutely a little beast. I love what Tyson Fury said about him. It's a good job. It's a good job. Nick Ball is 5'4", 5'3", 5'4", just the way God intended him to be. Because if he was 6'3", we'd all have a problem, and I loved what Tyson Fury said. I thought it was brilliant, and I watched Nick Ball last night. It's not the first time I've watched him. I've watched him a few times now, and I just love his style. I love the way he fights. For a short man, he can box. He always seems to be the shorter man, but he has a beautiful jab, strong jab. He kind of jabs up, and it's hard to defend against his jab. It's sort of like his jab's good because he's small, because he can jump into his jab. He can use his jab to an advantage of him being small. Really good the way he boxes. But he's also a little powerhouse, a very strong kid. And I watched him fight last night and I thought, wow, this kid's class. He was brilliant. Pressure fighter, good boxer, good angles, switching stance. I thought he was brilliant. And I enjoyed it. Now, I started to watch, when I went to bed last night, I started to watch the Piers Morgan interview between Conor Benn and Chris Eubank. And I've been fully invested in this. I'm really looking forward to this fight. I think I'm going to this fight, but I'm fully invested in it, and I don't know who's going to win. But I'm more leaning towards Conor Benn because I think because of the rehydration clause and stuff like that that's in it. He can't really put on more than 9 pounds after the fight, I think it is. He can only drink so much water and all. It is a farce, which I think is a bit shit. I think Chris Eubank is going to come into this fight pretty depleted. He's not going to come in fully rehydrated, fully himself, and I think it gives the best chance to Conor Benn to win this fight. I think Conor Benn is a lot more fresher, less miles on the clock. I think with Chris Eubank Jr., we've seen he's not invincible. He can be hurt, he can be stopped, he can be knocked out, he can be dropped, and he can be beat. Can Conor Benn do it? I'm not quite sure. I don't know. But after watching this Piers Morgan podcast, this Piers Morgan interview with the pair of them, I like Eubank more. Eubank grew on me after watching that. I thought he was real. I thought he carries himself. He's just, you know what? I think if you're going to be a dick, be a dick. But do it proudly. Just stick by your guns. Say what you want to say. Speak your mind. And I'm starting to see that from Chris Eubank, that he just says it how it is. A lot of people will think what they want to say, but they don't really say it. And I think Chris Eubank says a lot of stuff that's on his mind. A lot of stuff that people would be too afraid to say out loud. And for Chris Eubank to carry himself that way and stick to his guns, say what he wants to say, says it how it is. And the way he was openly speaking about his dad and wanting him in his corner and talking about personal issues between him and his dad, but not really going into it personally, not giving us any inkling of what really is going on, but openly speaking about that, like, look, we've got issues. I don't want him to be there. I still love my dad. He's my dad, and I thought, wow, I like this kid. He really has grown me. I never disliked him. I just thought he was a bit of an arrogant prick. I thought he was arrogant, brash, show off. I just don't think there's any need for that in a fighting ring, in a boxing ring, especially when your levels above your opponent. You don't need to embarrass him any more than you need to. It's like your boxing embarrass him. And to be showboating all the time and showing off and being a dick, I just think it's you make yourself look a bit like a prick, and that's the type of stuff that he did, which put me off him. But after watching that Piers Morgan interview, I really like him, and I thought, my heart went out to him a little bit. And I kind of want to see him win. I don't know if I want to see him win, but I was always rooting for Conor Benn to beat him. Always rooting for Conor Benn to beat him. But after watching the Piers Morgan interview, I'm kind of on the fence. I'm on the fence, but I'm more invested now. I'm more invested in seeing this fight. Both of them carrying on their dad's legacy. I don't think both of them would get this opportunity if it wasn't for the dads. You know, this from what I've heard and what I see, there's still a deep rooted dislike between the families when it comes to the fathers. You know, neither father likes one another. You know, so I am fully invested in this fight, and I'm looking forward to it. Who's going to win? I don't know. You know, it varies from one day to the next. You know, one day I want Conor Benn to win, the next day I want Eubank to win. But if I had a bet, I'm probably going to bet on Conor Benn. I think Conor Benn can beat him. I think Conor Benn's going to be the fresher of the two, fully replenished, you know, and I think he's got youth on his side, less miles, you know. But I don't know who's going to win. I don't really know. But anyway, that's my video for the day. God bless, guys. Take care. Have a blessed Sunday.